right. So the wildest thing that's ever happened in my agency was we were doing an event here for the local community, and one of our staff members ran to a mascot store, and we don't have a mascot. So they came back in a penguin costume, and we're holding up signs, come get your insurance quote, and with big arrows. And actually it drew a lot of attention. So people were like stopping by, like, what's this? And they, did their quotes or whatever to be in the raffle and everything. But I was just like, John, what are you doing, bro? He's like, what? He's like, I just wanted to come in with a little flair. And so
that's awesome.
So my name is Zach Farris with Fortreator Insurance, and our corporate headquarters are in Longview, Texas, and I'm an insurance dude.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Right now, while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
We took our notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies led Craig and I to selling more than $10 million in premium in the last 2 years.
On this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the same results.
Just go to live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
If you jump on this call with us, we're certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.
Boom.
Welcome, Zach.
Welcome, Zach. So why the penguin? Like, of all the choices that were there.
I have no clue. I was like, dude, you could have came back with like a shark or something
dinosaur,
like a dinosaur.
Like a T-Rex with the little arms.
Right? A velociraptor even. I mean.
My favorite. Yeah.
But he comes with a penguin. I'm like, bro, this makes us look weak. Like,
the level of fierceness was pretty low.
Right.
Yeah. At least he didn't come back as a turtle.
Exactly.
Yeah,
unless it was a teenage
like,
Ninja Turtle.
Unless he's a teenage. Exactly. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. All right. Well, Zach, we'd love to know how you got in this crazy business of insurance.
Man, so I got started back in 2014, and I actually started as a farmer's agency owner. So, coming out of college, I was like, hey, let's just want to be an entrepreneur, and didn't know what that looked like. And I just did a bunch of different interviews and basically how to own my own business, and stumbled upon farmers. And so that's what I did. I was thrown to the wolves, essentially. They take you on their farmers training, international training, whatever, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah. And man, I just got in the trenches and started selling auto home policies and never looked back. Was there for about 3 years. We did $2 million in revenue, and we had over 37 producers working for us at the time.
Woo.
37?
37.
Dang.
So, I mean, we were, I grew up in a small town. So it was one of those things. It's like everybody locally knew who I was. And then when I opened the agency, like all my buddies started coming out of the woodworks from high school who had played sports with, and they all wanted to come work and make a lot of money.
That's awesome.
And so we were, we blew it up, man. We did, in the first year, we had about 12 producers. We took off really fast. When we got our 12th producer, we were writing about 115 to 130 policies a month, which doesn't seem like a lot. You got 13 producers, but these are people that didn't have any insurance experience.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to coach. It's like you don't have time to really coach them either.
Right.
You're juggling that with being the HR, being the payroll, being the
everything,
writing policies yourself, because you don't want them to write more than you.
Yeah, right. You're a firefighter at that point where it's just like anything that needs to get done, you're just hitting it.
Exactly.
It's funny how you go to the training and you think, okay, I'm going to learn everything I need to know to run this agency here. And you learn how to like log in and work the program. And
Yeah.
but nothing like that actually applies to owning the business. And it's just like, what? There's a lot, you're just drinking out of a fire hose for that first year, first 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
So let's continue that journey. How did you leave Farmers and then open up?
So I would say about my second year, I kept getting blown up by recruiters to go the independent route from different IMOs, clusters, et cetera. And then I finally landed on a franchise model company like Brightway, Goosehead. So I ended up going with Goosehead. I invested in a franchise with them. And what made me go into that was with Farmers, if you have bad credit, you're not very competitive. And unfortunately, I was marketing to my age when I first started, right? So you either don't have credit or you have horrible credit because everybody's got student loans or they're buying boats because they work at the refineries and their debt to income is super high, so which tanks their credit. So I was like, man, I need to do something. I mean, yeah, we're killing it, but I'm like, if I can do all these different carriers when it's super price competitive for my natural market, then why not do it? And so I just took that leap of faith and did it. And sure enough, I tripled my revenue in the next 4 years when I worked with Goosehead. So
yeah,
it was a huge win. And, working with them as a franchisee, it was cool. I mean, it's working for a franchise, right? You're a franchisee, you're a business owner. Everybody's going to have their pros and cons. And I just figured, I was like, man, like after that fourth year, I was like, man, I feel like I can do this better and solve problems that weren't being solved within their agency with the rise of technology and just build up my own franchise similar model or IMO. And so that's what landed me with Fortreator. And here we are almost 2 years in, and we're rocking and rolling. We just started marketing this model in January, and I think we just brought on our 23rd agent, and we haven't even started marketing yet. So,
nice.
I just ran my first Google ad for $1,000 last week.
That's
And
awesome.
Thousands going to disappear quickly.
Oh yeah. But we closed 2 deals on it.
There you go.
Wow. 2 deals.
Your
Two deals.
cost per sale is $500.
What's the ROAS on that? That is fantastic.
Well, if I tell you that, you're going to be like, wow. So to join us, it's 10K.
Cool.
So,
So you at home can figure that out.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good ROAS right there.
Well, congratulations
Absolutely.
on that. It's huge, man.
Appreciate
Nice.
it, man.
So when you first started in the business, right, you're drinking through the fire hose, you're trying to figure everything out, and it was probably not the most exceptional experience at the beginning, right?
Mm.
What was the first thing that tipped and you're like, you know what? I really do love this. This is awesome.
I think just the competitive nature of the business.
Yeah.
I grew up playing sports my whole life. I feel like there's no one that works harder than me, honestly. Like when it came to sports, schoolwork, just anything, man. So like when I first started in the trenches, I was literally doing so many quotes, I couldn't even put them in the system. Because, they have you start out doing quote sheets, right? The old school, right? I'm on pen and paper. And I would literally, my training coordinator at the time, I think her name was Samantha. I was literally just feeding her quotes and she was putting them in the system, quoting them for me. I mean, I think my first month, I want to say I did 76 policies myself.
Woo.
Because, it's your natural market, right? We're just starting and selling all your friends and family. And I killed it the first 3 months. And then it's like, oh, shoot, how do I get more leads?
Right.
And that's when your referral network, and that starts coming into play, your referral partnerships and just trying different things, your web leads, your social media leads and funnels and all that stuff was coming around that time. And Facebook ads they were pretty huge right when I started in all the different industries. So that's when they were like coming around. So
that was the wild, wild west back then.
Man,
with Facebook ads.
Was it, man? You could put all kinds of things on there to get clickbait.
Yeah. And you could target.
Yeah, you could target
analytics.
Very, very targeted demographics for sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I can say this on here, but I'm going to.
Yeah, do it.
As if no one,
Nobody listens.
But yeah, like one of the fun things was to like target Home Depot, like Home Depot or FedEx and all that. It was so much fun to be able to talk directly to them. Hey, do you work at Home Depot? Check this out. Get your insurance discount today.
The FedEx package.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. Those were leads, right? Like just one after the other, just pour it in at
like under $1.
50 cents, 70 cents. It's just like, what the hell? And they answered the phone, or you could messenger them. Like, oh, so great.
Where have those days gone?
Yeah.
It was so good. Yeah. Those are the opportunities that you need to jump on.
Absolutely.
Right? People like Gary Vee, like we were talking about earlier, he gets it. Like yeah. But I think in that case, we'd probably jump on that as well now after going through that. But I digress. Let's get a little bit back into the agency. Describe your team right now and their roles in the agency.
Okay. Yeah. So we have our corporate team. We have executive management. We have myself, the CEO, and board member. And we have Shannon Nakua. She's our COO. She has a background in software. She's a software executive. So she's really helped scale and grow the agency to new heights. We have our CTO, Bob Davidoff. His background is computer science, computer programming. He mines Bitcoin all over the world for governments.
Wow.
Don't know if I'm supposed to say that. So if I did, Bob, sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Let's call him Frank.
Right. Frank. There we go. His name's Frank.
Frank.
Frank and Bob's.
Yeah, there you go. And then we have, we got Kelly Long and her husband, Steven, both work for us. Steven is our business development manager. Kelly's our corporate training director. And Steven was my best man in the wedding. So usually I don't hire friends, but made an exception. I know he's a hard worker. And so yeah, that's why we brought that team on. They're fantastic though. Kelly, her training of the agents and giving them all the marketing resources. She's fantastic. Her background's in education. She was a teacher, but it's a perfect spot to put her because she knows how to teach. So she's just teaching agents how to do everything in our systems, et cetera, and how to be an agent.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then as far as that, we have a couple advisors and some consultants that work with us on the board. We have Alejandro and then Michael. They have experience raising capital for companies. So they're helping us with that process at this point in time. So we're rapidly expanding and always trying to make deals, right? So that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about the culture in your agency? How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Create that and get that going.
Yeah. So, with COVID, right? Really we got started right when COVID was right in the middle of it. So I saw how all these insurance carriers were starting to do things like Openly. Openly's got an all virtual team. They don't even have an office, right? So they all communicate via Slack and some other areas, I guess like emails and stuff like that. But I hate emails. I get inundated with them. So we actually utilize Slack in our agency as well. And so what we do is to create that culture and that feel, right? As if you're coming in the office working with us, is to they'll do a little intro video, tell us like the questions I have them ask is like, hey, what's your favorite dessert? What's your favorite meal? If we were to go to a restaurant, what's your favorite beverage? The reason I ask those questions is because I want to be intentional and personal with them. And what I do for all the new people, I order them their favorite dessert when they get started and send it to their house.
That's a great idea.
So just doing something that shows that you care about them and, some of their favorites. It's like going on a date or having a relationship with someone. You get to know their favorite color, et cetera. So that's what we kind of do in our agency. We make it like a family feel as much as we can virtually and just go at it that way. We have weekly calls and meetings where everybody, video is required because I want to see your smiling face, right? And I want to see if you're having a bad day and stuff like that. But honestly, everybody's like family. And I think that we are that way because we ask those personal questions.
Yeah. So it's fully virtual now?
Yep.
No office?
Well, we have an office, but it's honestly, it's a virtual office.
Right.
So It's just because insurance carriers require an office, right?
So there's a mailing address or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do go to Longview every once in a while to pick up mail. But for the most part, we are, everyone's virtual, and it seems to be working fantastic. So
is it like with training and everything, is that challenging, or is it just like, how did you adjust to that? Take us through that, because I know a lot of people are talking about virtual employees now.
Yeah, so we just developed an online virtual thing, and Kelly actually. So, for example, we try to get about at least 5 agents onboarding at a time, and so when we do that, Kelly's able to walk them through all the videos that she's created on like our SOPs and standard operating procedures, all of the software we use, and how to essentially how to get paid. If you don't put your if you don't put your client's information in our system, there's no way for us to track it and pay you. So she's developed videos over time. There's some people that want to just go back and watch the video because you're getting like drinking fire through a water hose, right? We're giving you so much information about how to utilize our system that we want them to be able to go and reference it back. So it's been working great though. I will say the challenge is tying down a time that fits for everyone, because sometimes you're going to get somebody who's part-time, although that's not really who we're looking for, right? But when we first started out, we were making exceptions for people.
Gotcha.
Well, what are you doing like to recruit people? Like, how are you recruiting?
Yeah, so we have business development managers and so BDMs, and we have headhunters that I contract. So they're just pounding the phones, LinkedIn, posting job ads for us.
Is that an ongoing process for you?
It is. Yeah, it is. And then we run ads, right? So we're running Google ads to target recruiting agencies, agency owners, or agents who want to move from captive to independent agents who already are their own agency owners. They can roll their book to us. What we do is we're taking the extra payroll off. We're going to do a commission split. But if you're not having to pay payroll, it kind of is going to make up for that with our commission splits and our profit sharing that we're going to do with them anyways.
Cool.
Yep.
Love that. What are some of the complaints that you get from people with captives and indies that are coming over?
I would say with captives, they're just all skeptical. They're all over the place, right? Because, like for me, when I was with Farmers Land, they hound that on you. They brainwash you. They're like, oh, they're not A-rated carriers. They're surplus lines, blah, blah, blah. That's what we hear from our district managers all the time. It's like only farmers, only farmers, only whoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be farmers. It could be somebody else. The other big dogs like State Farm, or it could be, Allstate. It can be whoever.
How many producers do you have in your agency?
So we just hired we just took on our 23rd.
Gotcha. And what would you say your most effective training tip is when you're bringing them on?
Oh man. I mean, be persistent, be persistent. I mean, as far as the training tip, it's very easy to get complacent in the insurance world and just sit on your renewals. But you have to think like a business owner, because if you have no new business coming in, your loss ratios are going to go up, your profitability goes down, and more than likely you can get terminated for having your loss ratios too high.
Since you're dealing with so many agencies, that's got to be challenging. How do you manage that?
Yeah, so I mean, everybody comes in under our master code, so it is a little challenge. The way we combat that, right, is to write new policies. And so that's what we're big on and train on. So we give them the training and marketing resources in order to do that. Because some of these people, like we have agents that inherited books from their grandpas or grandmothers, right? So they just want different options in general because they don't know what to do. I'm dealing with one agent right now that's literally just reshopping in their current book and is not prospecting. I'm like, no, like that's your loss ratio is so high right now because you're not getting new business. And she's like, well, how do I get that down? I said, you hear how to write new business. And she's like, well, how? I was like, well, you need to get out and do some marketing, get referral partners, like go to loan officers, go to realtors, home builders, make those relationships. And we get her all that, the training to do that by, you have to bring something of value to them, right? In order for them to really want to do business with you.
Yep.
Hey, what are you still doing here?
Well, while you're still here and while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
Yeah, if you weren't listening before, we took notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies did help Craig and I write over 10 million in premium in the last couple years.
And let me tell you, on this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the very same results.
Again, that's live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
And if you jump on with us, we are certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.